Howdy, folks. It is Diecastbuffet here again, and this is finally it. This is the week of the NASCAR Duralast Cup Series. We're finally here. I cannot wait to just reveal the drivers, the paint schemes, everything in between here. And as you can see in the background, that's last year's Daytona 500 winning car in the NASCAR Duralast Cup Series, Kurt Busch's Gear Wrench Chevrolet Camaro. I got to do a review on that. With it being the NASCAR Duralast Cup Series week, we need to get that thing reviewed for y'all. So, we're going to be talking about every car, the drivers, and all that good stuff coming up. It is a huge field for Season 4. So many different silly season changes, so let's go ahead and hop into it. So, we're going to do the cars that are locked in to every race this season based on Season 3 points, right? So we're going to go from first car in points all the way to the last. And obviously the first car here, Chase Briscoe. Of course, he made some starts back in Season 3. And of course, you know, made some starts earlier in the Duralast Cup Series history. But he's going to be taking over Clint Bowyer's ride. So with Bowyer being the champion of Season 3, he's obviously locked in. But he's going to have a brand new race car here, the High Point Ford Mustang. So that is your Duralast Cup Series points leader. He's not a rookie. He's ran before, but it'll be his first full-time season, I believe, here. Now, this one's going to be only ran probably for the Daytona 500. It's Alex Bowman's car now. Yeah, it's a Jimmy Johnson paint scheme, but the Bowman diecast is far and few between right now. So this car right here, I'm going to get a good zoom on it. This is going to be his paint scheme for the Daytona 500. Alex Bowman taking over the 48 car. Of course, he won a championship in Season 2 with that 88 car. And in fact, I'll go ahead and put it in the studio. It's a little bit dusty here. We have not finished this car yet. I know it's still working on it. But we have his championship car there. So that's the Season 2 championship car in the clamshell, so to speak. And there's your Season 3 Daytona 500 champion car right there with Kurt Busch. Here is William Byron's paint scheme. Now, I don't have my Exalta cars yet in stock. Won't be getting those in time for the race. So we're going to be running the Hertz paint scheme. This is going to be the final ride for this car. I'm going to give it one last final shot to get into Duralast Cup Series victory lane. That's going to be his paint scheme for the Daytona 500. Now, this is a big driver change here as well. So, last season, Reed Sorensen won a Duralast Cup Series race in this car, the Melon Man machine. Now, if you go back to Season 3, Chastain drove for a different team. He drove for Buffet Racing South. He's with the Ganassi camp now. Justin Haley will take over to 77 from Reed Sorensen. Corey LaJoie will not have a ride for the first race. His number 7 car is going to be coming out very, very soon. So when that releases, he'll be able to start his Duralast Cup Series season there. Austin Dillon, we got the Bass Pro Shops car right there. He's going to be running that in the Daytona 500. And this is the 2021 paint scheme right here. Even though it looks the same, it's Kyle Busch's 2021 Interstate Batteries car. He did win a race last year. He won the Lone Star 500 at Texas Motor Speedway, the New Year's patriotic event. Chase Elliott had his first winless Duralast Cup Series season, but this is one of the fastest cars in the field. His 2021, or 2020, I should say, Hooters paint scheme. I don't have any of his new cars yet, so he's going to be running that car for the 500. It's his fastest car, so could we possibly see Chase Elliott get a W? And same for Denny Hamlin. This is a 2020 machine. I don't have his new ones just yet. Like, they literally... this is what's so interesting about the Duralast Cup Series is that pretty much if it's not here in time, I can't use it in the race. So generally it's either a week before or a week after, and I have to film this stuff, right? So I have to have it pretty much a week before the 500, and obviously most of these would be 2020 cars. Christopher Bell moves over from the Levine Family Racing, takes the 20 car over from Eric Jones. That's going to be interesting to follow. Here's another big driver change right here. Harrison Burton goes from the 82 Buffet Racing South car. He's going to be dropping to 39. Now, the Monster Energy Daytona Duels. He's going to be running the Monster car, obviously. I do have a brand new paint scheme for him coming up. It's going to be a Johnny Benson 2002 Valvoline car. We're going to be using that as his primary paint scheme. And, of course, with Bubba Wallace Jr. going over to 2311 Racing, Eric Jones is going to be taking over the 43 car. Love this paint scheme, so hopefully he'll have a good run. Believe it or not, the 43 car was actually pretty competitive last season. Of course, Ryan Newman with his 2020... oh, no, this is the 2000... This is the 2021. The window banner kind of threw me off, but there's Newman's car for the 500 there. This one's going to be really cool, guys. Huge shout-out to Little Wrangler 3. Go check him out, fellas. He sent me this car for free. Kevin Harvick's Grave digger Ford Mustang right here. Can't wait to get this car on track. This can be his paint scheme for the Daytona 500. This will probably be the only race this car will run in. It's a special paint scheme for him. Got that beautiful Irish metallic green chrome-esque lipped wheels. Beautiful car. That's going to be his special paint scheme for the Daytona 500 there. And then, of course, you have Martin Truex Jr., the Sirius XM Toyota Camry. That's going to be a 2020 car as well. This car right here actually won Talladega last season. Quinn Half and the units, Chevrolet Camaro right there for Starcom Racing. Now, Kyle Larson made a few starts with his team late in the year. But, of course, with the new season, you know, him going to Hendrick Motorsports, Quinn Half gets his full-time ride back. And believe it or not, this car actually broke apart during the Homestead race, the final race of the season. I had to go back and re-glue this thing. It actually fell apart. So that's probably why Larson didn't win that race. We got Cole Custer here. Obviously, we have his Kentucky race win car. It's so clean, we can use it as his primary for the Daytona 500. Obviously, his 2021 car is not here yet. So, I mean, it's out and about, but it's not here for me yet. So whenever we get that, we'll get it in store. This car is pretty beat up, but I'm not going to make a 2021 edition of this because I'm pretty sure it's going to get produced. Michael McDowell's 2020 Loves car. Obviously, it's not that good of a custom here, but with them making his Daytona 500 race win car, and I think they're going to make his primary car, I might as well just wait for that to release. Elliott Sadler, this is kind of a surprise. He's going to be back in the NASCAR Duralast Cup Series, probably his final season there, but the number 60 car is going to return for Roush. That's going to be fun. He's actually a qualified entry, no longer having to be a transfer car. Hey, Kurt Busch, he started out last season fantastic, winning the Daytona 500, but tapered off pretty badly after the season. Safe to say, this car right here in the box was his fastest car of the whole season. After we got that one replaced with this, nope, it was no good anymore. All right, so we got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now, no word on a 2021 edition being made, but I love this paint scheme so much. It's a little beat up, but Stenhouse is going to be back in the 47, obviously. This one's really cool. Again, huge shout out to Little Wrangler 3. This is his primary paint scheme. He drove the 5-car last season. Andrew Keaton, he won the Bristol race, the Pop Secret 500. He won that 5-car. Beautiful, beautiful paint scheme he had last season. I think he's even made it better this year. What a awesome looking diecast right here, number 88. K-State, the Fix Lionel Racing Chevrolet Camaro. Beautiful, beautiful piece right there. We got Ryan Blaney's 2021 Dex Imaging Ford. We got to have more paint schemes from Blaney coming up. But again, I'm just, like, if I have a 2021 paint scheme, we're running it. That's basically my theory right now, because the July to August portion is generally when we get a lot of the primary cars. So again, we're using the remaining 2020s, and then we're going to slowly kind of fade them out. That's kind of the point here. This one's a new driver in the series, Cody Ware for Rick Ware Racing. Now, this car has been run since Season 2, but I feel like it really fits the Rick Ware Racing feel, because think about it. They use Chevrolet Camaros, Camrys, Ford Mustangs. It don't really matter. So to use a car from way back in Season 2 and still run it, I think just actually makes it a little bit more immersive, because that's what Rick Ware Racing would probably do, is buy a bunch of old Stewart-Haas Racing or, you know, whatever, Toyota Camrys, whatever they could get, and, you know, get them going. So they might get some old Joe Gibbs Racing stuff, some old Stewart-Haas Racing stuff. J.J. Yaley returns in the 54 car right there. So these are actually two extremely fast cars right here, the 52 and the 54 for Rick Ware Racing. This one's a new driver here, and I'm pretty excited about it. So, unfortunately, Corey LaJoie is no longer with the 32 camp. Well, the 32 camp hasn't ran a cup race all year in real life, but I'm going to run this car, and the driver for it, Marcus Ambrose. Yes, Marcus Ambrose to be in the 32 machine full-time here. This is not this is a locked-in car, I should say. So he'll be in all 12 races this year, so that's going to be pretty cool. Like I said, LaJoie will be a transfer car. He'll be in the number 7 once we get that diecast in, which should be shipping early August, I believe. Now, this one is another driver. Greg Gaulding is back in the series of the Panini Ford Mustang. This thing is extremely squeaky, so that's pretty cool. And we got that one there. This one's a really interesting one. This is actually going to be Kyle Larson's car for the Daytona 500. Yes, I know. So, basically, this is going to be a little bit technical here. This is a Hendrick Motorsports car, right? So, last season, this was ran by Ryan Truex. Bear with me, folks. I don't have the 5 car yet. We don't know when we're going to get that. Might be Wave 6. Might be early to mid-September. We don't know. he's going to be running this car in place of the 5 car. Now, it's the number 33. Austin Cindric runs the 33. So, whenever Austin Cindric's diecast comes in, the 33 for the Penske camp, this car will be retired, and Cindric will be running that car for Penske. Well, this one right here is going to be Larson's car until we get the 5 car. So, when Larson gets his 5 car, this one will go back to Truex for the time being. So, in the final, locked-in car, it's going to be AJ Allmendinger. This is another paint scheme. I have another one coming up. This car won a dual race last year with Harrison Burton underneath the wheel here. Obviously, it still says his name there, but this is a 2020 car here. We're going to run this for the 500 because it was so darn fast. I have 2 new paint schemes for Buffet Racing South. The Valvoline machine for, of course, Harrison Burton, and I have a Miller Lite Camaro paint scheme for AJ Allmendinger. Allmendinger taking over the 82 car. So these cars, I'm going to run them for Daytona. We'll see how they go. I know the 82 car could win the race, so we'll see how that one goes. And now the next set of cars here, fellas, are not locked in. These are cars that are going to have to qualify to every race in Season 4. It's a 12-race season. These are going to have to qualify their way in on Thursday, the Daytona Duel. So you'll have to be able to watch that to figure out how that one shakes out. So all these cars up here, they're locked in and ready to go. They'll be racing on Sunday, August 1st. But everyone else, they're going to have to race their way in on Thursday night's duel races. So first car here, well, this is going to be the 49 of Chad Fedchum. This is not a good custom. I know that, but this one's a very long-staying car in this series. It's been ran a lot of times, but you know what? I like the back marker cars. We're going to run it. So this one's going to be a open car trying to make the Daytona 500 there. This one's a kind of a shock here. Tyler Reddick is not going to be locked into any races in Season 4. They had a very bad Season 3. I think it's due to the lack of Tyler Reddick diecast releases, so that one is going to be a transfer car. Another shocker here, Joey Logano. His 2020 cars, the ones I got, was so God-given slow. It was ridiculous. So, with the Penske camp getting a 2021 car, hopefully it's a little bit faster, which I think it will be. So, hopefully he'll be able to help himself. And this is probably the biggest shock of the season right here, fellas. Check this out. So, I'm going to take both these cars, and bam! Check this out. Red Bull Racing is back in the NASCAR Duralast Cup Series. So, this is going to be a big change for the series. Now, we lost 2 teams in after Season 3. We lost Germain Racing, we lost Levine Family Racing. Well, these 2 cars are both open cars. But what makes them so cool is that the car on the right, the 85, is going to be Carl Edwards, and the 84, Daniel Hemrick. Daniel Hemrick won a Texas race in Season 2. He was not in Season 3. So, that is going to be your Red Bull Racing team right there. They're back. They're going to be making their Duralast Cup Series debut this Thursday night. That's going to be fun. Ryan Preece is back in the Kingsford Chevrolet Camaro. Love this custom, how it came out. I really love this car. I remember building this thing. I think it was during one of the hurricanes last year. I was outside spraying the decals before, what was it, a Melda or Delta before it hit. I was outside trying to get that crap sprayed because we were going to be swamped for days. Greg Biffle's back at the Castrol Ford Mustang. Love that piece right there. This is a 2021 car, and shout out to Amarola winning that New Hampshire race in real life. Amarola is going to be a transfer car in Season 4. This cat did not get a single point in Season 3, I believe. So that shows you how poor they were. Granted, they only had like 1 paint scheme besides their patriotic car and their throwback. Matt DiBenedetto, unfortunately, another driver who didn't get points. They're going to be having to race their way in every single race. Now, this one's another really interesting one, too. So, the 45 car is the second entry for 2311 Racing. Well, I obviously don't have the 23 car yet, the show car or the DoorDash machine. So, what's going to happen is that Bubba Wallace is going to run this car. So, if he gets any points in this, that will carry with him. Once the 23 car is in the studio, so to speak, he'll drive that car. John Heller Nemechek will drive the 45, so it'll be the 23 and the 45 car for 2311 Racing there. So that's kind of the down low on that. We've got a whole bunch of cars here still to go. Unfortunately, it's another transfer year for Chris Buescher. He was a transfer car in Season 3, wasn't locked into any of the races, and unfortunately, it's the same thing for this year. So, tough luck for the 17 crew. Has a 2021 Mustang, though, for the 500. This is going to be Anthony Alfredo. This was a car that was locked in last season, but now they're not. They're going to have to qualify their way in. John Hernimacek didn't do that good of a job in the 38, so we'll have to see how that one shakes out there. We got, let's see, we got BJ McLeod in the number 78 XL.com Chevrolet Camaro. Of course, he won a dual race last year, but it was in the 52 car for Rick Ware Racing. This is his own, kind of his own race team, so to speak. So we'll see how that one goes. And a newcomer to Ganassi, Ross Chastain, taking over the reins for Matt Kenseth here. Of course, we'll have his Clover car a little bit later down the road, but this is going to be a very cool paint scheme here. Ross Chastain not locked in, though. So one of the Ganassi cars is locked in. The other one is not. Another big shocker here to me. Brad Keselowski is not locked in to any Duralast Cup Series races. Penske had a miserable Season 3. They didn't win a race. They were just struggling every week. It was Blaney, Logano, and Keselowski struggling. All their diecasts were extremely slow, so this is going to have to be a big year to keep Keselowski in championship contention. Ty Dillon will take over the reins of the 96 car from Daniel Suarez here. He'll be joining the fight, so to speak. He'll have to qualify his way in, though, every single race, but he is back in the series. We got two more cars here. Brennan Poole returns in the number 15 car for Season 4. I love this paint scheme and how it really came out with that white spoiler. Ooh, looks really good. At least I think so. It's got a lot of scrapes and damages, but that just shows you the intensity of Duralast Cup Series racing and how these cars, they have to survive and pretty much avoid the carnage that happens with unscripted diecast racing. And then finally, Timmy Hill returns at number 66 VSI Racing Ford. Pretty stout little race car right here. Not sure how good he's going to do here, but that is going to be your Duralast Cup Series field for 2021, or Season 4, if you will. But a whole bunch of cars here. A whole bunch of them. Everyone in this top two rows is locked in. Everyone on this row right here on back is not locked in. So, and of course, if you don't know what the Duralast Cup Series is and why is it so unique and why is it so different than anything else on YouTube, is that it's unscripted diecast racing. It's unlike anything out there, fellas. You know, it's a lot of people that do stop motions. That's freaking cool, right? Stop motions are too difficult for me. Downhill racing. It's cool, right? But it's only like 5 or 10 cars at a time. Imagine 40 car fields on a NASCAR oval track, Daytona, Bristol, Talladega, Texas. And the cars can come off the track. They actually have to race against each other, crashes and bashes, having an infield and all kinds of, you know, the designs and everything, pit road. Imagine having a racetrack like that compared to a downhill raceway in a desert or something. But anyways, you know, everyone likes their own thing. But I love so much about the Duralast Cup Series. It's just so unique to anything else on YouTube. And the fans really enjoy it, which is so cool. And that's why this is such a big week for the channel here, because on Thursday, we're going to have the Duralast Cup Series Daytona dual races, which, of course, you know, we'll get to see who's going to make the Daytona 500. We'll get to see who's going to be on pole, because we'll set the field and all that good stuff for Sunday. So it's 2 Duralast Cup Series races, 3 technically with 2 dual races on Thursday. That's coming up this week, August 1st, Sunday. That's going to be the Daytona 500, the 4th running of the Duralast Cup Series 500. Your previous 3 winners, Season 1, it was Clint Boyer. Season 2, it was Ryan Newman. In Season 3, of course, that cat over there, Kurt Busch. But it's going to be so much fun. The cars, it's unscripted racing. The cars can come off the track. They can fly. They can have paint chips, whatever you be. It's going to be a lot of fun here. It's going to be broadcasted live. Of course, you know, it'll be filmed and stuff because I have to put the broadcast graphics, but it's going to be a live premiere, and I'll be able to interact with you all. So hopefully we can have some good Duralast Cup Series racing. I wanted to get this video out so you kind of know who's who coming up this week. So thank y'all so much for watching. If you can, make sure to give the video a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, fellas. And which one of these cars do you think has the best shot to win on Sunday? You know, I have a sneaky good suspicion that the 22 car is going to be good if he can qualify. I like the 43, I like the 4 car, and I like the 14 right there. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the 2020 cars and the 2021 cars compare, because as the season goes on, each diecast release, that's new equipment. So it basically always keeps the field equalized, because every time we get a good diecast that's from 2020, we retire that car, right? After we run it so long, we retire it. So they have to get new equipment, new diecast. So it keeps the racing incredibly equal, which obviously makes a better show. I'll end it with this, fellas. I'm excited. I can't wait. We've waited all summer for it with the Summer of Diecast promotion. I cannot wait, fellas. The Duralast Cup Series is back this week. Diecastbuffet signing off.